Regardless of whether I've been at work or university or even working at home, I always end my day in pretty much the same way. This sense of routine helps me to maintain a sense of order in my life that has been lost somewhat over time since I finished school, college and my initial 3 years at university. Unfortunately, while I have grown and developed in many ways, there are some others in which my condition now affects my life more seriously. You see, Asperger's becomes far more prominent as a person gets older and thus affects them more. In my case, it seems as though I have stopped growing up while everyone around me continues to develop mentally, and it seems that I've been left behind. This leads to a sense of isolation and loneliness, and sometimes a desire to turn back the clock so I can be the same as everyone else again. Maintaining a sense of routine means that I don't notice this as much as I might otherwise, but the inevitable cannot be postponed forever, and it is only a matter of time before reality comes crashing down on me. Despite such difficulties, however, if someone were to offer me a cure for Asperger's, I would not take it. My Asperger's may create problems in my life, but it also shapes and defines who I am. Without it, I have no idea what I might be like, and frankly, I don't want to know. So, I may be an alien to the world, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
Asperger's is someone who hasn't been developed properly in life, and people with Asperger's usually tend to like cartoons, but me personally I like fairy tales. And people with Asperger's tend to ask really dumb questions, like, for example, I ask some Americans in a pub once, in America, what channel do they show The Simpsons on? And they found it to be quite a dumb question, but to me it's not a dumb question actually.
Right, Asperger's. As well as allowing me to wear this pretty cool t-shirt, because I don't think people with Asperger's, I don't think, well, they could wear it to raise awareness, but I think it's more appropriate that I wear it as well. It's sort of like, I know it's like a type of autism, although it's different from autism anyway, because autism is one thing and Asperger's is a different thing. And to me, it's just like our brains are wired differently. But like it's differently, and so it's nice because everyone is beautiful in their own unique way. But it's the t-shirt again, look. And like it just means that like we think differently. Like I'm very honest. So if I think that a supermarket product has got loads of rubbish in it, I'm gonna say that it has got a load of rubbish in it, because that's the truth. Because why should you be stopped from telling the truth when it is intended to help people? Because if something has got a load of rubbish in it, you're allowed to say it. Or if someone is refusing to help someone else when they are in a position to help someone else, then you should say that they are being selfish, therefore you should be allowed to say it. It's if someone is being an idiot or something like that. It's called honesty, and it's called free speech. And if society wants us to have freedom of speech, then therefore I'm going to exercise it, aren't I? Because therefore that's what society. Or how can you be permitted to? How can it be called freedom of speech when you're being silenced from what you genuinely feel like? And so therefore, it's stupid. And unfortunately what happens is, as a result of this, and as a result of loads of other things, never the fact that I'm not looking at the camera at the moment, because I can't do eye contact. I can't do eye contact, I don't know any kind of rules of communication or talking to people. And like, so society considers me to have a difficulty with this, although in my point of view is that it's them that has the difficulty sometimes, because I know what people are talking about anyway, because I'd still be talking about, because it's not that I'm not listening to them, it's that I am still talking to them, and if I wasn't listening to them I wouldn't know a figure deal of what we're saying, and I'd end up, like Robert be talking about his films, and I'd be saying, and the 1968 Formula 1 world champion was Graham Hill, the 1969 Formula 1 world champion was Jackie Stewart, and so we'd be talking about different things if I wasn't listening. So therefore, eye contact is a load of silliness, because as well, and I also hold people's hands as well if they want me to, or give them my hand hug like that, to show them that I'm listening. And so therefore that's a load of silliness, I think, because it makes me feel uncomfortable. So therefore, shouldn't everyone be accommodating of this? Because I still show them that I'm listening and everything. I don't know whether it's because I'm in people with Asperger's aren't that common or something. Maybe therefore society thinks that people with Asperger's should just comply with everyone else. But I don't like that, because everyone's special because of who they are, and it doesn't matter whether they're not very other people with Asperger's aren't in a majority group. And anyway, these majority and minority groups, they're all like, we could make anyone into a majority or a minority. Like if someone who is neurotypical says you're in the minority, so therefore you don't count, or something like that. I know we may not say it that blatantly, but let's say we did. I could just say you're also in a minority because you've got a different colour hair, or you've got a different thing, or you like different things, and so therefore you're in a minority in some way, so therefore your views should be ignored, and so therefore you can. And so back to Asperger's, it means I can talk about loads of different things. Sometimes I can remember loads of interesting things and facts and figures. Like I can sometimes remember what day something happened or something, or I can remember number one at a certain time. Like I'm interested in music charts and Formula One. Like I'm interested in those things, and I can tell you not all of it. I'm not that good, but like so sometimes I can tell you some bits. And I can tell you, every Formula One world champion since 1968. The 1968 Formula One world champion was Graham Hill. He had won 2 world championships by this time. Then the 1969 Formula One world champion was Jackie Stewart. He was driving, I think it was a March at this time he was. Then the 1970 Formula One world champion was Jochen Rindt. He was unfortunately the first posthumous world champion, although by the time that he died, he had got enough points to have won the world championship. Then in 1971, Jackie Stewart won the Formula One world championship again. This time he was driving for Tyrrell. In 1962, Emerson Fittipaldi won the Formula One world championship. I think I'll leave, because I think people get bored if I tell you loads of things about Formula One, but I can tell you about that, or I can tell you about music statistics. Like the biggest selling song of 1987 was Rick Astley, Never Gonna Give You Up. That was the biggest selling song of 1987. The biggest selling song of 1988 was Cliff Richard, Mistletoe and Wine. That was the biggest selling song of that year. The biggest selling song of 1989 was not, for example, Band-Aid 2, Do They Know It's Christmas, which you might think said because it was the Band-Aid. It was the redo of Band-Aid from 1984, albeit with different artists. It wasn't that, it was Black Box, Ride on Time. And so therefore people with Asperger's, they can get really interested in loads of interesting things, because to me, Formula One and music statistics, they're all interesting things, and loads of people agree with this as well. So therefore, I like to talk about those things as well. Other things, some people with Asperger's, they may not like to be touched or something. I don't like getting touched, for example, but I do like getting hugged. But again, this shows that you shouldn't just say that since someone is in a minority, you shouldn't just ignore them, because in terms of people with Asperger's, I like getting hugged, and most people with Asperger's do not like getting hugged. So therefore, you shouldn't make generalisations about people, because everyone is beautiful for who they are, and so therefore it's not, everyone is beautiful because of who they are. And everything. So therefore, that is again showing that don't make generalisations. What else about Asperger's do I know? It was invented. Well, not invented. It was it's of course been here forever. What's happened is it started getting known about 30 odd years ago. That's when the first sort of knowings of it occurred. Because not a Swedish guy, an Austrian guy, Hans Asperger, he was a paediatrician, and I think he worked with children. And he started noticing things in the children who he worked with, and he called them his little professors. That's what he called them. And although he died in 1980, which is 30 years ago now, the world champion in 1980 in Formula One was Alan Jones. Although he died in 1980, his name is the name of the syndrome which people like me have. It's called Aspergers Syndrome. Yeah, so that's how it got named. So that's how it got named. And so and so again, because it's called a syndrome, it means that people may have different symptoms. Like, not everyone has the same symptoms. It's a bit noisy in there. There's another thing. I don't like noise. Always. People may have different symptoms. But like but if you have a certain amount of these symptoms, it may be considered that you have Asperger's syndrome. And like in there, they just made the noise, and that scared me, and I don't like the noise. And like it really scares me and stuff like that. Like sometimes I scream, or I crouch down, or I put my hands over my ears, and like cause it's like cause this fight or flight thing, isn't it? You know, the body's fight or flight thing. And so I get scared by noise, or sudden noise, or being touched. Like if someone came up behind me and touched me, tapped me on the back or something, it would scare the living daylight out of me. So therefore, that can scare me if it's noise. Oh yeah, there's a thing. When I would notice something that is wrong or something, like I would point it out. Like I'd say, look at them driving dangerously, and I point at them and stuff like that. And the idea is to embarrass them, but unfortunately, I don't think they'll listen to that, because it's wrong though. Because if you're doing something wrong, you should admit it, and not kill someone just because they've caught you in the act of doing something wrong. So therefore, I'm going to be. I like to be honest. So therefore, what I like to think is I want to be myself, and I realise that because I can't help most of the things I do, therefore I'm going to appreciate for who I am, and everyone who loves me, then they are really good friends and family and really appreciative people. And the ones that don't love me, then therefore I don't need them in my life. And that's the thing, again, I'm very affectionate personally, although not many people with Asperger's are like this, but I am. I can be very affectionate, like hugging people and stuff and saying nice things to them. And I like being called nice words as well. So that's one thing about me. And as you may have found out, I may have already told you, people with Asperger's may get to know loads of facts and figures and things about loads of interesting things, or gain obsession, or become obsessed in various things. Like for me, it's trains, Formula 1, ambulances, loads of things, or things like that.
Asperger's syndrome is loneliness, but it is also individuality. It is shyness, but it is also genius. It is difficulty, but it is also opportunity. Asperger's is who I am. I am an Aspie. I am an alien to the world, and despite all the problems it poses, I am proud of it.